If you own one of these, you might be concerned over recent news reports about gas stoves and their pollutants in your home. Today, I'm going to share some simple steps that you can take that can lessen the impact of those pollutants and let you get back to enjoying cooking. Hello and welcome to I Want to Cook. My name is Chef Matt and this channel is all about easy recipes, cooking tips, and kitchen tools. And today we are talking about what is probably the biggest tool in your kitchen, the workhorse. Yes, I am talking about the stove. Now, without going too far down a rabbit hole, here in America and possibly where you live, there are building codes being enacted for new homes where they want to either eliminate gas stoves or incentivize the builders not to put them in the homes. And all of this is intended to reduce fossil fuels, of which natural gas is. But of course, this doesn't affect the millions and millions of us who have a gas stove versus an electric one. In fact, according to an article in USA Today, 35 to 40% of US households have a gas stove. Or if you are one of my friends watching in the UK, a hob. I think that's so cute, by the way, hob. That's what you call a stove, right? Anyways, natural gas is methane, and as it's burned, it forms pollutants, some of which have been linked to an increased risk of asthma among children. Now, for the record, I have nothing against gas stoves. In fact, I really enjoy using them. Every single home that I've lived in except one had a gas stove, and a gas stove is all we used in culinary school to learn to cook on. And now I do have some portable electric burners, an induction burner, and just a regular electric stove, but I have not found anything that has the level of control that you can get with a flame. So all that to say, I'm going to be using this stove and I'll probably replace this stove with another gas stove when it is time. But I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And the fact is, for a lot of people, myself included, replacing a stove is expensive. So even if you wanted to swap out a gas stove for an electric one, it can be a pricey proposition. But it turns out a lot of people who have a gas stove are not doing the one thing that they should be doing when using it. And that is turn on the vent. Turning on the vent is absolutely vital to getting those fumes out of the kitchen, not to mention the smell of whatever you're cooking. According to a researcher at Stanford University, 2/3 to 3/4 of Americans rarely, if ever, turn on their ventilation fan when cooking. That's a big no-no. You really got to be using this thing. And if it's broken, get it fixed. And importantly, make sure your fan isn't one that just recirculates, but actually vents those fumes and vents those pollutants to the outside and out of your house. Another thing you can do along with using that ventilation fan is open a window, open a door. If you have two, open them both. Try to get a breeze going to get those fumes out. It's all about ventilation. And in reality, you should be doing this regardless of what type of stove you have. So even if you have like an electric or an induction or halogen stove, you really should be venting. You should open those windows because that's going to get those smells out. It's going to get those fumes out, and it's just going to be a lot less of a mess in your kitchen of really things that you can't necessarily see. But ventilation is especially important if you have a gas stove. I'm going to read you a quote that I saw in USA Today. This is from a Dr. Aaron Bernstein, a pediatrician at Boston Children's Hospital. He said, if you ventilate, you can dramatically reduce the emission down to levels that are very unlikely to cause substantial harm. So again, just getting those fumes out of your kitchen, out of your house. And lastly, there's one other option that I actually do all the time, and that's, if possible, cook outside. You might see me in some of my videos, especially ones where I'm doing high heat cooking, I'm doing a lot of searing with a lot of flames. I cook outside, and I do that for a couple of reasons. In addition to, the pollutants, first of all, it's the smell, it's the grease, it's all that stuff coming off the meat or whatever I'm cooking. That's just easier to handle outside, and it doesn't smell up the house. Now, I do this on just like a portable camp stove, but you can do this on anything. If you have a barbecue with maybe a side burner or even like an individual burner, you can cook outside, and that just kind of gets all those fumes, well, not in your house. Now, I realize that the deeper issue is kind of a tricky subject and there are no easy answers, but hopefully this video helped and just is kind of a PSA reminder, especially if you are using a gas stove. Turn on that vent, open a window, do everything you can to get ventilated, get those fumes out of your house. I hope this helps. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Welcome to my kitchen. I am so glad that you are here. Until next time, I hope you want to cook.